The customer journey today is no longer a straight line. The way that customers seek information and embark on their buying journey is constantly changing. In many cases, they interact with your product or your services even before you as a marketeer are aware about it. So this calls for a new approach on how to support your customer's digital journey. So how can a better understanding of your data and ultimately also your customer's digital journey make you more successful and give you the competitive advantage that you're looking for? And I have two eminent experts with me to talk about this. I'll start with you, Anna Ireby, your go-to-market and strategy manager at Dun & Bradstreet. And joining us via link, we have Adam Leslie, Vice President, Product at Dun & Bradstreet. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Anna, I thought I'd start with you. Like I mentioned, we're on a transition, on a digital journey, and the customers' behaviors are changing and so forth. So tell us, what concrete impact does all of this have on businesses today?
Marketing has always been about audience being at the right place at the right time, but now you actually need to be where they are spending the time. So with the recent shift, with people also starting working from home, or more or less being first working from home, also the behavior has been changed. And it's not just the individuals, it's also for businesses. And thereby companies have to rely more about the data they have about the company and also the digital solution they use to manage and reach the customer.
Exactly. So we heard, it's quite an integral process, both with sort of integrating the technical shift and also the single customer point of view. So if I would be a company and I want to start on my digitalization and data-driven journey, what are the first steps that you recommend I should take?
I think speed to value is the crucial element to focus on first. There are so many components to a full solution. They're working to understand them all and working to implement them all in one jump will, for many, derail the sign-off and will cause a very stressful initial implementation and return on investment process. Just as an example, one of our more basic small step rev up digital components includes a very basic customer data platform, and the majority of clients choose not to activate that initially. And I think that's a really telling example of keeping it simple, taking small steps, learn as you go, bring the culture along with you and demonstrate the ROI. There are also plenty of clients where the full CDP actually is the next step. And I think for these, the focus areas include combining all that first-party data that Anna was talking about and adding to it third-party data to form that unified, dynamic, single view of customers. I think secondly, to be able to build your audiences once and activate everywhere across multiple channels. Thirdly, that automation to handle the thousands of different target messages that you need to deliver. I think fourthly, that ability to prioritize and engage the best audiences with artificial intelligence. That's getting smarter every time you activate more campaigns. And I think lastly, it's that detailed performance and customer engagement reporting.
So you stepped upon it, but how does data and technology come together to really help the marketeer and of course also in the long run, the buyer for that matter?
The data and technology, it's like the car and the fuel or the cooker and the gas. One doesn't work without the other. And it's because there's so much data now that it can't be managed manually. It needs the technology to put it in so that it is actionable. That's what helps the marketer And that, therefore, makes it easier for the buyer.
And I'm thinking, just to sort of emphasize for our viewers as well, and of course, Anna, if you want to also come into the conversation here. But so if a company wants to get started, or they're on their digital transformational journey or digitalization, what are sort of the top priorities to think about initially, to sort of hand a toolbox to the viewers? What should they be thinking of coming to priorities? Adam.
I think the start point is that most companies will find out they are doing digital already. If you're listening to this, you're probably doing digital. It might be more in silos, and it might not be as much as you kind of feel you should be doing. But the point I'm making is this is more evolution and revolution. It's bringing people along a journey rather than starting from scratch. And I think to bring them along that journey, it's important to do that audit of where you are now. So what MarTech do you already have? How well are you using it? What ROI do you get from it? Do you measure the return on investment? They're really easy questions to ask, but they're probably quite difficult to answer. But once you understand that, you can begin to articulate a pitch. You can find the right size component to pitch. That might be a large six-figure investment. It might be a much clearer, smaller start, like first-party intent. But if you go too big, as I was saying earlier, the sign-off process becomes bogged down, and it can risk failing. And I think the third step here is engage with some providers. A good provider will keep it simple and shouldn't try to overpower the solution they're putting forward, because they know that if they do, then actually you'll probably struggle to get the sign-off, and so everyone loses out. I think be sure that the component that you test or the component that you buy can build as your digital solution builds as well.
So that was good recommendations on sort of priorities. So just to sort of round off the discussions, if each of you, maybe 2 to 3 things to think about, pitfalls to avoid, maybe companies who are already in their digital transformation, what pitfalls should they try to avoid? Anna, if I start with you.
You need to see the human behind the company. So you need to talk to the person and not directly to the company. So you need to be more relevant with your message to the customer than you are today.
Adam?
I think the digital journey should be everywhere. And I think the biggest element holding it back is identifying the right start point for your organization.
Well, like you both said, data is, of course, the key component, but never forget the human component, because that is as vital. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing your insights. Truly, really relevant conversation. And hopefully our viewers also found this interesting and relevant. If you want to learn more or talk more about how to boost your sales and marketing strategies with data, then please do check out our website, or why not join us on LinkedIn. Once again, thank you all for watching. Hope you join us next time. And until then, stay safe and stay healthy.